This car right here, this 34 Ford, is getting more attention than a 2-year, $1 million budget 34 Ford would ever get in its entire life. And I have to thank everybody on the internet for that. And the reason being is there's more being posted about this 34 Ford and talked about on this car than I've seen on any 34 Ford in my life. If you want to go and check the computer out, you can go check it out. You can go see the comments and the videos about this 34 Ford. I'm very proud of it. We're not even finished, and we got more attention than probably any $2 million build or $4 million build in the world. Ask yourself, is that not a piece of art when you have that many people that are dislike or like about some kind of car that you're building? I often say, if you want to stand out, you must build something different. With this 34 Ford, I am trying to do the best I can to make it different. No matter where I have to go for the ideas, it is mine and Jolene's car, and it's the way we're doing it. And I have to thank everybody for paying that much attention to it. I really do. I know for a fact there's probably hundreds of shops that would love the attention that we are getting. Basically, if you want something like that, you basically have to build something different. And that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to make it a little bit different. I didn't realize it would capture that much attention, but it really has. What we have here is we have the bottom welded on. Colton did that yesterday. I come in and just cleaned it up just a little bit more on the bottom. He had a cut piece of weld on there. I just cleaned up a little bit around the door where we weld that on. But now we got the bottom connected. Now we have to connect the top. Let's do it. I got the same piece that I used for the bottom. I'm just going to lay it on here and see what happens. It's a nice looking piece, to be honest with you. Nice looking piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run it all the way back, and then we'll get a mark and we'll cut a piece off. Yes, this car is actually it's doing very, very, very well in the world of everybody talking about it. It really is. From high-end people to low-end people to whatever. Everybody's concerned about the 34 Ford that Bad Chad's building. And what can I say? If you do something different, generally it'll get noticed. And basically what I've showed what we're doing, it's going to be a little bit different. We're sectioned and we're channeled, and we're going to do a little bit something different with the back of the roof. And I think people are going to enjoy it, because I really think that's what's going to happen. Look at that. Now that fits really nice. It's not bad. So what I got here is I got to bring that in there. As I put that piece in there, this piece is going to, I thought about spot welding it down to there. Then what it does is it leaves me a lip of the metal there. I'm not interested in that, I don't think. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put it in here, we're going to weld along here, then we're going to weld it along this edge here, and then we're going to grind it off so you can't tell. As I do that, how many feet from the front to the back on this side? On the outside to weld that up. Same amount of feet on the inside there to weld that up. Then you got to weld this up. Then you got to weld that up. There's probably 40 feet of welding on either side just to connect the underneath of it and then put the wheel wells in it. Just to do that, 40 feet of welding. That's a lot of welding and a lot of perseverance to get something done in a short amount of time. And that's what we're doing. I'm going to just trim this a little bit here to make it fit a little bit better. The reason I'm going to trim it now is because this is paper. I can do it when it's metal, but it's harder. Let's put that in there like that. It's not staying in place for me, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of rigging here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'll put it back together. Yes, if you shared the 34, or if you've commented on the 34, I want to thank you very much for doing that, good or bad. And the reason being is it's out there. And the reason it's out there is because everybody's talking about it. And I do not mind whether someone's talking about it, whether it's good or bad, just as long as you're talking about it. That's all I see. Just going to do that. Just cut that a little bit. And we'll glue that back together with some tape. Let's do that. Jolene's looking amazing today, as always. as always, Jolene's been buying sundresses lately, and I can't wait till the sun comes out. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. I want that to stay. Stay in there now. Stay in there. There. Just had to cut that because it didn't quite sit in there just right. I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to take my marker and draw the underneath this side. The better the pattern, the better a piece of metal you'll have. Like that. Nope. Get in there. I want it tight and right. I can barely see that, but hard to see it. And I don't want to get it out here. Like I don't want to get it out here. I want to get it, there's a little round edge right there. I want to get it on that edge right there is where I want to weld that. Then I can grind it off and not see it. If I get it in the wrong spot, I am not going to be able to grind it off and not see it. I have to weld it on in the right spot. That's the deal when it comes to this sort of stuff. You want it to look right. You must weld it in the right spot to get it off, or to grind it off. And I think we've done that so far everywheres. And if not, just cut it back off and do it again. I seen there was there's a 34 Ford I seen at the Grand National Roadster Show. I seen it in bare metal, and I seen it in it with its clothes on. I mean, that's with paint. It's got a whole bunch of different colors on it, and the colors are running about that wide, and they're running on an angle, and it has different colors all the way down. I seen a man on there. He was quite upset about everybody giving that car bad comments. And what I thought to myself was, he's going to have to stop for a second and appreciate all of the, all the interest. He's going to have to stop and appreciate all the interest on that car. And what happens is he's going to have to understand that, honestly, he doesn't have to understand. It's just, the car is a piece of art. Some people are going to enjoy it, and some people are not. And it does not matter if you get bad comments or good comments. It means that you've pushed the limit, or I don't want to say push the limit, but you have pushed the envelope onto what that car could look like. And a lot of people cannot understand or cannot accept it, which makes it a piece of art. And the reason it can be done that way is because the car has showed us that it can be done that way. So for me, I'm going to embrace all the comments, is because I am satisfied. That's hard to get that. I am satisfied with what I'm doing. I don't know if that's the right thing to do there. Hard to get that. So if you're willing and you want to stand out, you must be able to accept criticism. And the simple fact is, you are pushing the envelope to what's different, and to people have never seen that before. And with people, if they've never seen it before, the first thing they want to do is knock it without thinking. And I'll tell you why. Because it's easier to judge than think. For me, when I see something like that, that's that different, I take from it. Basically, I take whether I would want to do it to my car, or whether I'd want to do it to somebody else's car, or I wouldn't want to do it at all. Or I might even want to do it different. A little bit different. I'm not sure. But basically, it's a piece of art. All right, now, that's not bad. I'm still not there yet. When if the paper doesn't fit, the metal's not going to fit. I hope that makes sense. And I want it right on the right spot. If I don't get it on the right spot, I bet you, the only reason I throw names that I throw out is because I'm thinking that most of the people in the world of this auto body business would probably know them people from TV. But I'll bet you that this 34 Ford has got more attention than the Amber winner, America's Most Beautiful Roadster. I bet you this 34 Ford has got more attention online than the Amber car this year. I bet you this 34 Ford has got more attention than the Riddler car award, which was Kindig's. I can bet you, like if you go through the comments and go through the things, you could almost bet that we got more attention out of this car than they've got with their $1 million cars. And for someone that's building cars like me, with the tools that I'm building with, right there on the floor, that's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I have to thank everybody for throwing me out there. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, I have to thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Like the old saying said, sticks and stones will break my bones, but everything you say about me will not hurt me. Now we're looking good now, baby. Look at that now. I think we are. Come look and see what's going on here, baby. See how I got the piece of paper on there and I've got that edge there? I still got that. I want to get to that point where we've got that edge all the way along there to make that nice and right. I'm going to bring that maybe up a little bit further, I'm not sure. We'll just make that a little bit longer. Let's go for it. Let's cut a piece of metal. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to trim just a little bit off the whole thing. The reason I'm going to is because I can. This is the outside edge that goes on the outside part of the sill. Ah. Been thinking about the old Buick since we tried to start it yesterday, trying to think about it. Be a fun car to do something with. Didn't realize the old thing started with the gas pedal, but you learn things as you go. Got to get that starter off though, and check it out. All right, look at that, looks good. I'm happy with that. We're just going to go up this in the front a little bit further with that. Get another little piece. I think I might stick it on there. Do this. We're not even done yet. We're cooking with gas, baby. We're cooking with gas. That's not where I want that. Let's do this now. It's hard to hold. All right. Just gonna do this. Cut a little bit of this off. All right, let's stretch this piece of metal so you can get a piece in there. This stuff here would be good for me to get in there, and then I can get Colton to weld it. Colton did a good job on the other side, and let's be good for anybody to learn to weld there inside. Let's see this now. It's not bad. I'm going to take that edge. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Holding that pattern straight is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's got a little bit, it's not, might have been a mistake going that close, I'm not sure, but all right, let's go for that. Let's get this cut off. 18 gauge is what I'm using. 18 gauge. I like using 18 gauge. Give me something to scrub off, or it can give me something to work with. If I don't like something, I can grind it a little bit. Don't mind. If I have something, I don't mind grinding it. If I don't have something, I don't grind it. Alrighty, I'm gonna cut that off the zip cut. I'm gonna have to get a zip cut. Wasn't ready, sweetheart. Wasn't ready. Got a couple here. Probably got a couple new ones on the table. It's Fun Day Sunday. Hope everybody's out in the garage working on their car, you know, going for it. That's what I'm doing, just going for it, getting a little bit done here and there. I'm not going to spend all day in here. I'm going to spend half of it with Jolene because I want to. All the young people out there that are building cars, or you know, want to become somebody in their life, you know, want to become a car builder and that sort of stuff, you know, it's going to be hard for you. And the reason I say that is because you're going to have a thick skin, because people are going to knock you and throw you down because they don't like what you're doing or don't think it's right, or you know, you don't know nothing. But what I'm going to give you a piece of advice: do it your way. Make yourself happy. That's what I do every day I come in the shop. I come in here to make myself happy. There's nobody else that I'm concerned about when I get in here. Like I said the other day, the biggest freedom you could ever have is doing what you want to do when you want to do it. And this right here is the place that I get to do it. Like I always say, it's my party and I cry if I want to. But it really is enjoyable to be able to do what you want to do. It's not always the great thing when someone's knocking you what you're doing. No, it's not a great thing. But you really have to dig down deep and figure out, in all honesty, if they was not talking about it, would you be happy? No. I want people to talk about it. Let's talk about it. As I'm doing it, as I'm cutting it, as I'm fixing it, as I'm grinding it, let's talk about it. Let's figure out the truth. And I know, and I know just from yesterday, just because you're in court doesn't mean you have to tell the truth. Just like the internet. Just because you're writing something down doesn't mean it's the truth. That's for sure. It's like, there was a comment this morning, there's a big difference between you and Vice Grip Garage. He gets them running, puts them back on the road, you don't. Well, that's a lie. I got 4 or 5 cars down there that we fixed up and put back on the road. So that makes you somebody that's not really credible to talk when you say stupid stuff like that. But you're allowed to say whatever you want. If you want to be known as a liar, go for it. That's not who I want to be. I want to be somebody that can be credible and be listened to and believed in what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that do not have that respect for themselves to make sure that they tell the truth. That's actually, to be honest with you, that's why we do it in real time. That's why we try to do it in real time. So everybody knows the truth, how long it can take if you want to go for it. If you can be faster than me, congratulations. But I highly doubt it. But anyways, if you're faster than me, you go for it. But we do it in real time to show people what it would actually take to do what I'm saying that I'm doing. And you get to watch it for yourself to know whether I'm doing a good job or a bad job or what I'm doing. Like most of them say, he's a hack. Man, I've hacked up a lot of cars, but I put a lot of cars back together. You can call it hack if you want to, but you know what it is. That's a nice piece right there. Come and take a look, sweetheart. Basically at the point right there where I want to be. See how that little edge there? And that's where basically I want to be. So when I weld that on there, I can scuff it off and make it look nice. Right there, see how that's over a little bit? That's not where I want that metal to be. Not even close. And the reason for I don't want that metal to be there, because if I go to weld it, it will pile up there and I'll grind it. When I grind it, I'll grind it all off. And I don't want to grind it all off. I want for it to stay, but yet grind it and have the piece stay and be secure and tight and right. Yeah. Let's grind this off a little bit and check it, get it fitting a little better. That looks nice, doesn't it? That piece knocked down the end down there. Alright, doesn't Doesn't look bad, doesn't look bad, doesn't look bad. We're tight up against there. We want to get that in there level. We want to get that in there nice. All right, let's get the welder and tack it in there. We haven't even got a welder out. Huh? What's wrong with me? Colton was doing a good, well, I'm not saying he's doing a good job, but he did stop. There's a piece of metal there. He did stop and make sure that they got the welder working right before he started welding that stuff underneath. That's a good thing to do, to be honest with you. And the reason for that is because why start something, have it all messed up before you even start? You might as well get the old welder working right before you start. That'd be a great thing, which he obviously did. And that's a great idea. Let's get this bad boy going here. Just like that. Sunday fun day. Putting the inside sill in on a 34 Ford. Right at the present moment, it's the most talked about 34 Ford probably in the world. And the only reason I say that is because everybody's posting, everybody's sharing, everybody's talking about it, everybody's whatever. But I'm going to say it's probably one of the most talked about 34 Fords in the world. Because it probably is. I want to do that, I think. What is going on here? This square stock is leaning this way a little bit. And what I think I like is that it is doing that. Reason being is water gets inside, comes down here. I haven't got an angle back. It stays in puddles in there. No, it comes down here and then it runs off. So I'm going to go with what I got. I'm going to go with this rate there. Nice. What happened? Guess it doesn't want to work. Let's turn the gas off while I'm doing that, because gas is coming out while I'm doing it. Something wrong there. Not going to mess with it. Something wrong with it. That happens to the best of them. Not sure what happened to it, but hope this one, the full tank gas. I'm just wondering why. I'm just kind of wondering. Colt never said anything about that. Let's try that again. Oh, this is the 220 one. Anything to try to slow me down. Anything to try to slow me down. That's empty. Let's try it. Good. Nice. 2 tacks. It's in place. You got to remember that. Really, like, it's a serious thing, really. You got to remember that. If you don't remember that, you're going to get yourself in trouble one of these days. And the reason being is it's not going to be where you want it. You have to go back and play with it. Let's get that in there. Let's get this. Did I just push that down? Did I? Put that back in there. Hit that again. Just want to round that off a little bit. Just looking to see if it's round off good enough, that's all. It's nice and rounded off to me. Don't want to dent it up or anything. Just want it to work. Good. Now, I'm going to shave that off. Nope, I'm going to knock this on. See where I got it placed? Got it placed nice. Nice! What should I keep in mind as I'm doing this? Distance. Jolene likes to answer the questions because she knows all the answers. But yeah, as I'm doing this, as I'm putting this on here, as I got that going there to there, and I got that there and that there, when I go to do that, I probably put one in the middle there to keep that same distance going along there, exact same what I'm going to do in the front here. I'm going to do it just so it looks good. So if someone comes in and looks at it, that's basically the only reason that I am making it like that. You're trying to do a good job, trying to keep it neat looking. It's like coloring a picture. You don't want to color the picture and have your lines going every way except the same way. Just closing my eyes as I weld that, obviously. Now, I'm thinking that that's down flat down there. That should actually make that metal go exactly where I want it to be. Let's just do this. One there, same distance. Same distance. Close. Just trying to... Too close. Just right. Be nicer too when the door comes off, and then I can really get it where it needs to be. Let's do that. Let's make this fit up here. We'll shave that back. You can see how that's on top of that. We don't want that on top of that. Or I don't think we do. No, we don't want that on top of that. Just going to knock this off. Do I want to push that down in there or something? Get it cut off so we can... I'm having issues with the welders today. Having issues. Here. My hammer. Now, when I go to grind that off in there, I will be able to grind it all off because there's not enough metal, there's not overhang of metal going on there. I do not know if my door is going to shut. I did put the bottom on it. I had a gap in the bottom. It looked really decent when I put the gap on the bottom, but now I've got the inside still on there. Now I want to know if it's going to shut. And if it doesn't shut, what do I have to do? I'll have to take my grinder. I got it tacked on here. I just got it on lightly, just tacked it on as easy as possible. but I'm going to have to take my grinder and I'm going to have to cut the bottom of the door off more and just bring it up a little bit more. It's kind of a, I probably should have put that in first and done the door after, but I wanted, in all honesty, I wanted to tighten the door up after we got the door opened up. It was kind of, and that's why I snapped the bottom on it. It's because it was like that. But let's see if it hits. All right. That shoves us up a bit. We still got the gap out front. We still got the gap out front. But it does shove us up a bit. So I probably will weld it on, and then we'll grind it off, and then we'll probably snip this. You can see where I got this here. I just come along with the grinder and snip. The piece would stay on the bottom. I'm not going to take the piece off. I'm just going to come up and snip it a little bit further. And then I'll just put the piece back onto it, and I'll do the exact same thing in the front. So I'll leave the bottom like that and snip it off and then re-weld it. I got a little piece up in the corner here I want to repair. Let's do that. You can see this post where the posts come down. There's where Colton welded that on. He did a good job welding that on. We're going to make it look prettier as we get going. So if you think it's not pretty, well, it's not finished. Cookies have not been finished being baked. Makes sense to some, but not all. I'm gonna go with that one. I thought about laying a piece over top, like over here, and bringing it right up here and weld on this edge and bringing it across to make one nice piece. I'm just scared of the distance in between the post and the door. I don't really want to interfere with that a whole bunch. There's a distance there that it has, and I don't want to take away from it. I just want to put this little piece in. And I gotta take some more off. Let's do this. Yeah, we haven't even finished it yet. People are going crazy. But it's good. It's good. Fantastic. Fantastic. Don't you think, baby? Fantastic. Jolene is the guru on that, you know. When we're doing this, obviously, Jolene's job is to make it perform. That's Jolene's job, actually. I try to make the cars perform. I try to get a certain amount done in a certain amount of time. And, you know, so everybody can see a visual as I'm doing it. And Jolene's job is to make everybody want to watch it and look and pay attention. And obviously, she's done a fantastic job at that because, woo, lots of attention. Lots of attention. All right, let's do this. I'm going to go over and get a piece and do that. Put my gloves on because it's small. No, go right here. Let's get a small piece right here. I don't want to use a big piece. The reason being is I feel like I'm wasting something. Let's do this. Let's put this on here. Use this little piece. Why not? Colton, this one's for you, buddy. This one's for you, Colton. Grab the smallest piece and get your piece done. I have to thank Colton yesterday for coming over and helping me. Even though I think he wanted to see his old car anyways. Alrighty, let's cut this bad boy. It cuts right here. It's plugged in, I think. Fun day Sunday. Fun day Sunday. Gotta like it. That looks good on there. That's closed in nice, is it not? Man, looks like someone hacked it all up. Remember, that is my piece. The inside of the black line is the piece I want, the inside. So I don't want no black marker showing. Put that bad boy piece in there. Woo, I don't want to do that. I guess it only falls so far. Get out. I'm gonna get a magnet. I'm gonna lose it, is what I'm gonna do. And my gloves are, wow, that was awful. That was terrible. Let's turn the welder on, and that way there I can snap it on while I'm down in there. Now, when it comes to this car, when I get close to being done, I'm going to take it outside and sandblast it. I want to butt that on there if I can. That little spot down there, I can do that. I can get that corner filled. Come down just a little bit more. Don't know if I should, but I'm going to try. Cut a little bit more off this. Help yourself, sweetheart. Cut a little bit more. That was hot. That was hot. This is the issue I'm having. When I stick it down in there, I don't want it to lay on top of this, because when I weld it on top of this, then I'm going to have a thickness of this metal and the weld distance, and when I fill it, I'm going to have to build it out a little bit. And I didn't want to build it out. I could have put the piece right across there and done that, right along that edge, and you'd have a little line going across here. But I didn't want to do that because of the bottom of the door. I want to make sure that there's enough there. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that it fits. If it don't fit, well, then I'm not welding it in there. That's hot for a second. I'm going to leave just for a second, and then I'm going to put it in there. A magnet right there. Look, the magnet's saying here, use me. Okay. Perfect. Get in there a little bit better. Just want to make sure. Nice. Nice. Gonna weld it nice and flush. One is holding it, and two it's there. So I'm gonna put my spot on it because I feel like it's ready to rock and roll, and it is. Make sure that's back far enough. Yep. Nice. Put this up here. Yeah. You can see how I've got a little bit up here. It's higher than this piece, and I don't mind that. And the reason being is I'm going to start the welder on top of that piece, and I'm going to melt it on top of that. I'm going to melt the excess, and down on top of what I have there. Ouch. My head is very sensitive still. When you bang it, it hurts. I'm not sure if it hurt before I did the hair transplant or not, but when you hit it, you know you've hit your head. So you can see, come see this here? See how I'm on top of, like it's above that piece? I'm going to try to weld this piece here, the sheet metal, to the mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt the top of that off over to that And that way there, it'll be the right height and I don't have to worry about anything. You can see how I weld that down on top of that. Get that ground off. And just do this. Now, this mount that's on here, you can see it's not finished welded out there. It's going to be hard to make that look nice. So basically that would be welded again to put more weld on it so you can grind it off nice. That's all there is to it. Basically, let's do it. Let's do it. A little more weld on it, gives us a little more grinding for us, and I'm happy with that. We got it all the way out to the end, and we can flush that off nice. Nice. This is going to have to be welded down here. We'll tack it. My welder isn't working the greatest right this second. Not going in there with that because I'll make a mess. I'll make a mess. Don't want to make a mess. I want to be able to see that wire before I pull the trigger. That should be down in there, but make sure the welder's working good before you start getting in places like that. And that's going to have to be welded down in there, and that will have to be die grinded off to make it, to get it done right and nice. Good. Get that done there. That'll be done there. It's all going to have to be welded solid. Let's go up here. This has to be dealt with. Let's get a piece of metal and deal with it. I wonder what's wrong with the other welder. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave my hat off for a second, just so don't hurt my head. Give you a hair update. It's growing slowly. It's growing slowly. Don't really want to make a mess up in there. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I want to make a mess. I gotta have a little piece in there though. Just don't know how far I want to go with it. Let's do this. Cut this off. Doesn't look bad. I can weld that in there actually. And then cut it off. Be easier. Wouldn't it, honey? Yeah, turn that back on. I gotta cut this off. I got a groove and cut in the back. I don't want to use that piece that's cut in the back, but let's try it. Usually I get up and cut that piece where I got that to grind. I want to fit that nice. All right, let's do this. Cut it off. I did not weld it on very good. Hoping. Ooh, nice. I'd say it's in place. Now we need up in there. I'm going to do a coat hanger with that. Do I hear things? Do I hear things? Sure I do. All right, let's do that. It's nice in there. Coat hanger. I want air gun. I want a helmet. So that's going to have to be welded up and ground out the best it can. So we'll weld that solid all the way across there. Everything's flushed up except this is rolling up here, so we should be able to feather the weld off coming up here to make it look nice. That's butted up, so that should look nice. We've got the edge down here that we're welded on there, right? That's be able to burn in both places on both pieces of metal there to be able to grind the top off and then grind the side off and then leave the angle. This here, when we weld this here, there's enough overhang down here that we should be able to grind this angle and get that buffed off the top straight and get it angled off. There'll be weld inside here. That should be good. So basically that's what you got to think about every time you're doing something like that. You have to make sure that the weld can be burnt off, I guess. Let's fill this top piece in. I gotta up in there. Let's put the air to it. You don't go anywheres. In there. I want to carry the weld up a little bit further because you can see how it's not finished. That spot. That's finished. have it finished. Wow, see how hot it is. I want to get nothing warped up. Not really. When I go to start on this, you can see that weld there. See, I got that weld down there. Got a hole right there. I don't want to start on that hole. I want to start on that piece there and fill that hole and come down through that, because that's pretty well butt weld together, but I'm going to start in there so on top of the hole, and that way there I don't have to burn another hole. Starting on the existing weld. All nice, beautiful. And you just keep welding it up until you're happy with it. Just put a little weld up in there, so when I grind it off, I can center it. So as I've done that, my legs cramped up. So as I've done that, this basically shows you how, I mean, it's different, but it basically shows you how a car is built. This is the outside sill. It goes around and it connects on to the inside sill. This is the inside sill. The outside sill goes around and connects to the inside sill. And on the top, it goes and connects into the inside sill. So basically, it's the exact same thing as a car. As you have your rocker on, which is the square stock, goes underneath and connects to your inside sill, which is part of your floor. And that is the part that's hard to fix on a lot of cars when you get like the 48 Ford that we bought from Ontario. When you put the car up on the car looks good, but when you put the car up on the hoist, and you get up inside when you look underneath the car, you cannot see on the inside, so you cannot see that because the frame is covered. But when you get on the hoist and you look up and you see that the inside of the sill is not connected to the outside of the car, that's where it becomes a lot of trouble, because basically, most times to fix it right, you have to take the car off the chassis to fix it, because you cannot get at it. So as this inside sill is here, the frame is right behind it. So in order to fix that inside sill piece, you'd have to get the car off the chassis to fix it. And that's where the issue is sometimes when you look underneath an old car. If the inside sill's gone, the outriggers are gone. That's a hard place to fix, because you cannot get at it unless you take that car off the chassis sometimes. That's where it's at. But we've got it all connected there. Everything looks excellent. I think basically Colton can come in and spot this all together, and the way that it's going to be done is it'll be spotted together every inch until we can do by like fours, 1, 2, 3, 4, and blow it off the hose. I like to connect it every inch because that way there, it's not going anywheres. And if you keep it cool, it's not going anywheres. And that's the basics of it. If I start heating that all up, it still can move. Yes, it can. If you don't think it can, go welding and do not stop and let her get hot, and you will find out. But now we've got the inside done. We've got the piece tied in the back. We'll weld that along the back there. We'll get that all tied in. This side will be getting closer and closer and closer all the time. I still have to make this piece in here. There's a piece in here I'm going to have to make. We'll probably show that. And the reason being is, this is what we're doing. We can only show what we're doing. You know, people complain sometimes, but we only can show what we're doing. That's all we can show. We can't show no more. We can't tell you no more. We're not going to make a video of talking to you and lying to you and bullshitting you and pretending. That's not what we do. We do the real thing. There's the inside part of the door. I'm happy with it. I'm going to have to go to the other side while Colton's going to be welding. You know, probably he'll be welding that up. I'll probably go to the other side and try to get the top of the door done and that sort of stuff. But we'll show you each process that has to be done. We've shown you this part of the top of the door pretty well, most of it. The bottom of the door, I've showed a little bit of it. The inside sill and the bottom part, you know what's going on there. If you want to do it on your project, you know exactly how to do it. And if you do not like the way I'm doing it, make sure you do it your way. When you go work on your own car, make sure you know that you're as free as a bird. You can do whatever you want. And if you want to get as much attention as me and Jolene are on this 34 Ford, do something different. Or do it faster, do it better, so people can complain. Have a great day, everybody. I'll be here. Come back tomorrow.